Today I will attempt to explain what a black hole is like. I will, through my theory, explain what would be the experience of an infalling object into a black hole versus the view of a relative observer outside the gravitational field of a black hole. Black holes, they are the most amazing phenomena in our universe. Dark centers of density which make even light bend. They have such powerful gravitational power that they make light bend and curve at 90-degree angles. How do these strange, bizarre objects work? Black holes basically create gravitational fields. In these gravitational fields, gravity essentially separates space from time. Time is then bent. The fabric of space and time is bent so that there is a kind of a lensing effect in which time gets refracted from a lens and reflected onto a mirror. In the way that time reflects, even light gets refracted, and because of this lensing effect, the essential curve in the way light travels occurs. This curve is extremely strange because the laws of physics suggest that the light should be traveling in a straight line, but it turns. So basically, black holes break all the laws of physics and quantum physics. So basically, this gravitational field has created a time field. And now, once an observer starts to fall, let's see what happens. An observer is observing the black hole from outside the gravitational field, whereas an object is falling in. This object gets into the gravitational field and the time field, and its whole body and mass of the object starts to vibrate rapidly. This increases the rate of flow of time for the object relative to the observer. Therefore, when the object goes and smashes the event horizon at tremendous speeds, it creates tremendous impacts and the object goes in. In this time field, it is the time is running very fast. But once the object is past the point of no return, that is the event horizon, then the object does not experience the gravity. It essentially is now free flowing, so the flow of time slows down and gets extended to such an extent that the image that is formed on the event horizon for the relative observer outside the gravitational field is essentially static and non-moving forever. It is an eternal image. Now, just to get a sense of what this may be, when an object falls inside a black hole in the event horizon, the effects of dramatic time dilation also change and alter the object severely, as in, imagine that I am the object. The upper part of my body will literally get developed or age faster than my lower part of my body when I'm inside the black hole. versus my lower part of my body will age faster when I'm outside the black hole. It depends on the gravitational center and the strength of gravity. So the dramatic effects of time dilation essentially change the age of the objects, and the particles just get coated in this substance that I talked about, and they disappear into another time because the time dilation has changed the time in which they are. But when they are falling, the past, the present, the future essentially merge at the event horizon. In the sense, at the edge of this time field on the event horizon, events that have occurred 2 Earth minutes ago may be occurring 10 hours later for me as an observer outside the gravitational field, whereas the object would experience this literally 10 hours, literally 2 minutes back. And this is kind of crazy, isn't it? Because of these effects, the object totally changes as it enters the black hole. And then it gets heated up to tremendous temperatures and gets destroyed. It gets destroyed and coated into another universe of extra dimensions, wherein the effects of time dilation have created half of the extra dimensions. Dimensional universes where the time goes on in a very different way as parallel to that of our universe. But in those universes, strange things happen with the objects. And then what happens is that, as we know, that these two universes are parallel. We have an unlimited universe in our from our perspective, and there are other universes, and this is just a small universe from a higher dimensional perspective. So what essentially happens is then the material that collects in the black hole in this column of space, the extra-dimensional universe, then crowds around center and creates the density to create a black hole of their universe, which results in a rip. This is a black hole from the perspective of that parallel universe. And the rip that takes place sometimes in our universe due to this, I believe, some scientists like to call this phenomena of rip in space-time suddenly a white hole.